Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is October 18th. And yes, this is the second video of today. I thought I'd do another update here because why not? The weather's always changing and it's always being updated. And we thought I'd go over things again here. We got some interesting weather potentially coming. We've got increasing confidence in a trough digging all the way down across the state of California. And then a potential another one also through the extended forecast. But we've got the big ridge over the area now keeping us nice and toasty. And we'll check out when that heat is going to break. We'll also look down here. You can see Hurricane Norma now, and it's going to be kind of skirting the west coast of Mexico there, moving towards Cabo over the next couple of days. So if you have concerns in Mexico, heads up for that hurricane down there. It's going to be ongoing on and through early next week. This is tropical storm force wind probabilities. You can see it does look like it may impact some of the west coast there as well. And you look at 60-70% chance now here for Cabo, so increasing some odds. You may see some damaging gusts there also. And of course, this will be accompanied by big waves and some heavy precipitation as well. And this is looking at Cabo. Look at this. You can see some of these totals up over 4 inches potentially here. And there's still some hit and miss totals in here. And there's still some disagreement between the ensembles. But you're looking at almost 2 to 3 inches here in the control run of the European. So pretty rainy time coming up there. If you like storms, it's the place to be here coming up. And looking across some of the fires here, you can see the quarry fire actually grew a little bit here across the central Sierra Nevada, but the rabbit, the redwood, the blue fire down there, these fires don't look like they've been growing here. They're still producing some smoke, but for the most part, they're not large fires here, just kind of nuisance smoke going on. You can see that on the GOES 18 satellite imagery. I just kind of paused it here, and if we scroll through a little bit, you can kind of see that smoke bubbling around the central and the southern Sierra. So you're not imagining things. There are fires out there. They're just not the huge blazing fires that we had a couple years ago. You can actually see a couple fires even a little bit further north, not that far from Tahoe also. But anyway, looking at the total swell, because we had some interesting waves there along the California coastline today. I heard there were some water rescues going on, some rip currents going on across central California, including the Bay Area, and there were some lifeguard rescues out there. And that wave action is going to continue on in through tomorrow. As you can see, this will be about 11 a.m. tomorrow, probably the peak wave activity, then starting to wane as we go through the nighttime hours of Thursday and getting a break here as we come up towards the weekend. This is that high surf advisory, and this goes through tomorrow, 7 p.m. Generally, Big Sur North is where that high surf advisory is, and 17 to 22 feet, large breaking waves associated with that. So heads up if you're headed out to the coast. Now, taking a look what's coming down the line. This is the GFS 18Z, the most recent. You can see the ridge over the area now, keeping us nice and toasty for a few days, but this ridge is progressive. It is moving off. It's not going to hang around long, and you can see the Hurricane Norma down here to the south. Next trough comes rolling in here as we go through Saturday night into Sunday, and you can see a nice sharp trough digging down across Southern California. May even bring some precipitation. You could get some upper elevation snowfall as well. And then this next ridge tries to nose in here, but it quickly kind of gets pushed out of there and squashed by the next trough coming down across the Pacific Northwest and off the Pacific Ocean here, which could keep us chilly on in through the end of October. But then after that, another ridge tries to build in there. So kind of the yin and yang in this progressive pattern that's been going on a lot of this month. We've had some very warm periods. We've had some below average periods as well. And that looks like it's going to continue. So now looking at the GFS 18Z, again, atmospheric river into British Columbia here. There goes the hurricane towards Cabo. And then you can see this system starting to brew here, moving into northern and central California as we go on in through the day Sunday. Some snow showing up on the most recent GFS there as well. Even some precipitation down towards Southern California. Cross your fingers, guys. And then we start to bring this next trough down here, and it's going to merge with another system off the Pacific Ocean. And this is bound to change here, but it's kind of interesting to watch this come in here. It would be nice to get some precipitation here in late October and maybe some snow for the higher terrain as well. Pretty chilly air mass moving in here over the Intermountain West, showing up towards the end of October on the European and the GFS. Now let's take a quick look at Hurricane Norma down here just to see if any of this tropical moisture is going to get up into California or Arizona. So we're watching for any big slug of moisture to get up here because those are big impact events. And right towards the end of the run, some of that tries to creep into Arizona here, but for the most part, we're not seeing that big signal for big tropical storm remnants moving up over the area as of right now. Now looking at the European, the 18Z, hot off the presses. Here goes the ridge, but it is progressive. You see it moving off to the south and east, and you can see the next trough trough starting to dig down the coastline here as we go on in through the day. Sunday, nice sharp trough right over Southern California by the time we get towards Monday afternoon. And then you can kind of see this next trough here arriving in the Pacific Northwest as well. So we could even get another one as we go further on into the following week here coming up. This is looking at the 2-meter temperature anomaly. It is pretty darn warm across much of the state, Nevada, Arizona, and Utah. And as we scroll on into the weekend there, you can see that switching up and we start to go below average here as we go on into Monday for much of the region. Bounce a little bit back there and then we go cooler again as a very chilly air mass drops down over some of the Pacific Northwest, Intermountain West. How much of California will that include? All good questions, something we have to answer here over the next several days. We can kind of see that yin and yang back and forth progressive pattern, warm and cold as we go through the end of the month. Here we go, a total snow on the 18ZGFS. So let's go ahead and scroll this out here. Now we're going in through Sunday. Sunday night, you see a little bit of snow start to fly. Now we're into Monday. You see a few inches of snow maybe. Can't be ruled out for some of the Sierra Nevada. But then the next trough is pretty darn chilly. And you can see it bringing some snow to the Intermountain West and maybe a few more inches for the Sierra Nevada. Again, depending on the trajectory of that trough as it moves down. As we go, we're starting to get off in fantasy land here, but it's always fun to watch these cold troughs move down across the Intermountain West and just see how far they might dig out over the coastline here. This is looking at Ontario here, so you can see the warm temperatures we're getting, but the definite cool down here as we go on in through next week. No mistaking that. You can also see John Wayne Airport, Orange County Airport there, and you can see that warm temperatures here through Friday and Saturday, then that cool down as we go on in through next week as well. Sacramento, something similar. Couple, maybe even 3 90-degree days here. If we include today, I don't exactly know what Sacramento got into. Maybe I'll look at that tomorrow morning. But you can see Thursday, Friday, probably look at 90+ degrees, and then that noticeable cool down here as we go through next week. Here we go. San Jose, you can see maybe a couple 90-degree days here, and then that definite cool down as we go through next week as well. So kind of you're getting the picture here. Palm Springs also even maybe 100 degrees on Friday, but then that cool down coming. And here's the 6 to 10 day. I think this is right after that first trough. So you can always see the temperatures bouncing back a little bit here. So take this with a grain of salt. This is bound to change coming up. And the 60-day precipitation outlook here, just kind of a sliver of below normal for some of California. But anyway, yeah, hope you guys are liking these videos. The channel's doing pretty well here. I'm going to keep doing these updates at least once a day. I'll put out the daily briefing again like normal tomorrow, and we'll watch this hurricane. We'll see how these forecasts trend with these troughs. How much precipitation is it going to bring? Are we going to get snow? We get to put out these fires once and for all. Are we going to warm back up a little bit again here towards the end of October before we cool down yet again towards early November? All good questions, all things we need to ask, and that's kind of the thing about weather. Once a forecast goes out, it changes. So don't get stuck up in long-range forecasts. Always check back. The forecast is ever evolving. I mean, you're basically trying to predict the future here. You need as much help as you can get, right? So anyway, hope you guys are liking these videos. Check back tomorrow morning, and I will talk to you guys then.